Welcome to Q Aquatics and Exotics. My name's Suzy, and welcome to my Sunday night live stream. And tonight I am so silly excited. Let me tell you, I got two people coming on in a few minutes that I watched from the time I started my YouTube. But I think he was a fishing channel or something. He was kind of like some other channel, but then he quickly became fish keeping. So I can't wait to show you. I don't even need to introduce him because you guys know him. But first, let me say hey to the people that are already in the chat. Oh, Candy, hi. Candy's already posted Jeffroz Fish Keeping channel because she is amazing. We got Deborah Sanders, Kaler's Aquatics. Who else do we got? Brianna. Shelly, hi, Di. Bottom Dwellers Aquatics, Griffin, Peplin. Look at all these people in the chat. Oh, you guys, wait till you hear this because it's like a song you've never heard before.
Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Suzy Q. Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Suzy Q. Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Suzy Q. Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q. Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q. Nah, hey everybody, it's Suzy Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Suzy Q.
Oh. I'm sorry, guys, but that never gets old. At least not for me. So welcome, everybody, and I would like to introduce Jeff and Phoebe from Jeffroz Fish Keeping, which, of course, they need no introductions. Let's see if we can bring them up. Hey, guys.
Hey.
So now we got to do our little sound check to make sure everybody can hear us.
Hopefully.
Oh, you guys are sitting perfect with your fish tank behind you and your artwork. Oh, looky. I love it. So, hey, Dragon Layer. Look at everybody in the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat. We got Peplin Creek Aquatics, Mike's Aquatics and Things, Bob, Kaler, and Candy. Woo woo! Science Gal. Hey, Carrie.
Hi, guys.
I'm going to say Melvin because I don't know how to say that. Melvin Hittaz. Kevin Leong. Oh, look at him saying hi to everybody all like that. Oh, my gosh. Skipper's Aquariums. Oh, look at everybody. Jeffrey Watts. What? Rob's Aquarium Room. Dank Tank in the house. Dankle. That is hysterical. Well, I'm glad Dank's in the house because...
Yeah, there's a reptile keeper.
Yeah. So I'm sure you got Aqua Ness. Hey, Ness. Muppet. Look at everybody. Marisi. You guys must know everybody in the chat, right?
Yeah. There's not very many people that we don't know.
I know, right?
We went to like probably 10,000 live streams this week.
He's always lying.
I gotta say, one of my favorite and most scariest live stream, we're not going to talk about it, but I think you know, is when that stupid idiot did something dangerous. But that was traumatic to me. That was, I can't even imagine to you, it was traumatic to me. But I think what you're mostly known for, and I know you don't like to talk about it. Look at this. Oscar is throwing stones at me. Wow. That's my nice Oscar.
Wow.
Look at him.
He's like, talk about me, Mom. Talk about me.
I don't think he likes me talking so loud next to him. Wow. Never seen him do all that. But anyway, is known for your food versus pleco series, and I hope you bring that back.
I will definitely. I actually have missed it a lot, honestly. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It's a lot of fun to talk about after I've done the video. You know, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It kind of engages the subscribers too, because probably 90% of those were ideas from my subscribers on what types of foods that they would like to see me do. And I always have to research it because there's some things that you can't feed fish, you know, like I was wanting to do avocado one time.
Oh.
I was bragging about it in a live stream one night.
Glad you said something.
Yeah. Bald and Dangerous, Dougie from the UK, piped up in the comments and he said, don't feed your plecos avocado because it's poisonous. And I looked it up and it really is poisonous. So that taught me then to not just go gung-ho and crazy with it, to really do my research just in case, because I wouldn't have never thought that avocado would be poisonous to fish.
I would never thought that.
The only reason I know that is it's poisonous to Sophie.
Oh, okay.
So that's my parrot. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, look at everybody in the chat. Do you want to introduce yourself, even though I know everybody knows you? Just give a little intro of who you are, where you're from, and where you're heading.
All right. Well, I am Jeff, and I was born and raised down in the Ozarks. So right at the very beginning, as a wee little boy, everybody called me Jeffro. Everyone. They just called me Jeffro. I think we had a lot of Jeffs in my class. And when you live down in the hillbilly woods, you know, they called me Jeffro. And gosh, back in 2011 is when I started my YouTube channel. And all I really did is just every once in a while I would upload a silly little video from my phone. And it wasn't like a real channel. I just used it to watch other YouTubers, you know, to watch fishy channels and everything else, you know. And then I just all of a sudden out of the blue one day ordered me some GoPro cameras and I started doing a little filming and editing and I really liked it. It was like, this has been something that I evidently wanted to do for a long time because I really loved it. I loved kind of the photography and the cinematic aspect to it. And for the longest time, I made just like vlogging style videos. Like there was one time that I bought a car off of one of my daughters for $50, and me and my teenage son and a bunch of his friends, we cut the top off of the car and turned it into a convertible. And then just silly little videos like that. But I got to where I was running out of, you know, ideas for videos, you know, because like my fishing videos, I would go fishing.
Yep.
And those videos did really good, but you don't really fish in the winter. I mean, you can do ice fishing, but I don't ever do that. That's a whole bunch of other gear you got to buy and everything. So the last like 7 or so videos that I had uploaded to my channel were to do with fish keeping. I was doing aquaponics at the time. I had a little koi pond in my basement. And I had some peppers and different things like that I was growing off of an aquaponics system. And, you know, like I had quite a few aquariums going and I had been, you know, in the hobby ever since I was like 18 years old. My mom and dad wouldn't ever let me have an aquarium when I was growing up. So my first apartment that I got out on my own, I went and got an aquarium and, you know, had aquariums pretty much nonstop ever since. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to start making some you know, fish keeping videos. And I kept my channel name just called Jeffro. That's what the name of the channel was for a little while. And then when I decided to go ahead and change my channel to just only fish keeping and get rid of all those other videos that were hard to come up with content, I changed it to Jeffro's Fish Keeping. And yeah, been
just don't run out of content ever when you're fish keeping, right?
Yeah, no, and especially like that video series, the Pleco versus Food, you really could never run out of content with that because all you got to do is come up with a new food this week to feed your Plecos. And you could do that all the time if you wanted to, but I want to make other videos too, not just that. But eventually when I get my Plecos built up enough, I'll do some more of those, and that will be a normal thing on my channel.
Yeah, I think that's what made it so amazing because you had so many Pleco babies. Like,
oh
put
yeah,
whatever vegetable in, and they would just go.
Yeah, and I've often wondered about that too because you get a lot of comments and emails and different things like that of people saying my Pleco won't eat that. and my pleco won't eat this. Well, I'll do a video about this, and my pleco won't eat that. And the only thing I can think of that I do is I always offer my plecos from the time that they're babies different foods all the time. I never feed the same thing all the time. I mean, I like to feed vegetables to the bristlenose, you know, of course. But I don't ever just stay on one food, and I keep on offering them different foods all the time. So they just really don't ever become finicky, you know?
Wow.
So
that was pretty cool. And then your live streams, I remember you were doing live streams, regular live streams, and I think you did some with Sergeant Tanks, right?
Right. I've done some live streams with him. Yep.
Yep. And then you did some water changes, and that caught on like what a great idea. Let's go live while you do water. I would flood my basement every time.
I know. And how that whole live stream started was I was going live 3 times a week, and I wanted to drop one of them off because it was really hard to do, you know. But then I decided, well, why don't I just go ahead and do water changes during the live stream? And that way I get to do my work that needs to be done in the fish room, but I can still go live with everyone, you know. And it was really fun right from the beginning. Yeah. It was so much fun. They know that I'm a storyteller and that I've got the gift of gab.
Really?
And they would ask me a question, and I would like, not knowing that what they're doing is they're trying to get me to overflow a tank is what they're trying to do, you know. And I would always take the bait every time, you know. But yeah, those were a lot of fun.
They were. Candy said that was one of her favorite live streams.
I was just
tell
thinking,
you, the first couple of years I did YouTube, but I think we started about the same time.
Right.
I only did videos. I would never go live. There's just no way. Because for some reason, when I turn on the camera, I got this, "Hi, everybody."
Well, the hardest thing for me is I'm kind of prideful. When I do something, I want it to be good and I want it to do good. And I can remember my first few times going live, asking my youngest son at the time to be there in the chat to kind of help the chat keep going and stuff. Because the first few times there was only like 3 or 4 people that were showing up. And to me, that was really a bunch of anxiety because that meant that it wasn't doing as good as what I wanted it to do. But I'd always been told to just keep on going, on going, and keep on doing it. You'll build you a following, you know, and I did. So yeah, I was thinking about that last night because I was trying to get him to go live with me last night, but he chickened out the last minute.
I heard that. I was listening to your guys' live stream as a podcast on my way to work because I have a 45-minute drive to work. So I always listen to yesterday's streams and that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, for the longest time, no one knew that his name on there was Romaine Paul. And for the longest time, no one knew it. You know, whenever he would show up, he was a regular, you know.
Okay.
I mean,
oh, cool.
It was kind of cool. It was like a secret that I had for a while to help keep the chat going. His job was to be there and to spike up conversation with everyone, you know. And it was really kind of funny.
If I see one of my kids in the chat, man, I'm telling everybody, I'm like, oh, look, it's Katie. It's Katie. Oh, it's Sarah. Because I have 4 daughters. Oh,
yeah.
One of them might walk by.
Oh, yeah.
She hears me live, but she won't. She's my 38-year-old. She's upstairs babysitting my granddaughter. But
every once in a while, my mom will stop by. Not this weekend, but the weekend before, she stopped by and said hi. Yeah, it's kind of cool every once in a while to see someone like that isn't normally there, you know.
So Phoebe, did you know Jeffro like while he was doing live streams and everything?
Well, no, actually when we started dating, like that's when he kind of like started trailing off and started paying more attention to me. But actually the first time I went to his house, like I walked in and you would think like some people, well, he thought that it would be like, you know, a turn off or whatever, but actually I was rather intrigued. I thought it was cool. Like he had like all the lights on the first time I went to his house. So It was dark and just the fish lights on, and he was pretty good at his craft, like had all the plants going, so it was like a romantic setting to me. So I was into it. It was fine with me, but yeah, I wasn't around so much for the live streams though. He would never go live when I was around. So
Right. Well, that's pretty cool, though. I think if I was dating somebody and I walked in their house and there were cameras and lights set up, I would turn around and run.
Well, I had 16 aquariums in my bedroom too, and that was always a running joke because I was single for 3 years before I met her, and that was always a running joke that people would, she would come in there and be like, But we was looking through some photos and videos in our phones yesterday. And we came across some from a long time ago, and she loved to do maintenance on the aquariums with me. So we would do water changes, and like duckweed is always a problem in my fish room that I always battle. And there were some videos of her like with her fingers down in the duckweed and stuff, and she liked the texture and to mess around with it and everything,
I actually had that video as my background for a little bit. So like when like the phone was off, it would play like the video of his fish tank in my background. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
She loves aquariums. She loves shrimp. She loves planted aquariums.
Oh yeah, me too.
She was just hooked on it from the very beginning.
So now, Phoebe, do you have an aquarium set up there somewhere yet?
No, I don't. All I have is my geckos. They're downstairs, and I just have them in a large. It actually was originally a jewelry box. Not a jewelry box, a jewelry display case. Yeah, and I just kind of redid it to make it like, because I wanted a bigger long tank, and I wanted like storage drawers to put their stuff away in.
Oh wow!
So yeah. So I have.
Now, what kind of geckos do you have? I'm very fascinated.
Leopard geckos is what I have.
Oh, do you have more than one?
I've had those like all my life. Like leopard geckos have like always been my thing. I think they're so cute, and their personalities are a little different than other reptiles. They're not really as aggressive. They'll let you hold them. They're calm. They even make like this weird little sound. It sounds like they're barking at you. It's really cute. They only do it once in a while, but yeah. Those are the kind that I have.
I think I saw a super chat. I don't want to miss a super chat. Bob Taylor, he's given us a fist bump, $2.99 super chat, super sticker. Thank you, Bob. Yeah. Which reminds me, Fish Tank Barn was in the house. I know I saw him somewhere. Oh, that's pretty cool. So you have more than one leopard gecko?
Yeah. Right now I have 2. But like I said, I've always had them all my life. I had iguanas when I was a kid. I've also had, I believe I had them since I was like 7 or 8. But I think they're called red belly salamanders or red belly newts. I can't remember. But they're the ones that can go inland and in water. So they're really cool. Those are my 2 favorite. And then I've had a chameleon when I was a kid. But yeah, I love lizards.
That is so awesome. Well, now that you have a baby, are you going to have a reptile so you can have a pet for her?
Probably when she gets a little older and maybe she could enjoy it a little bit more. Right now she kind of just lays there. So
I'm sure she smiles, eats, and poops too.
Are for kids though.
Yeah.
They really are.
I love your birds though. When I was a kid, I had birds too. I had a cockatoo or cockatiel. I can't remember how you pronounce it.
Was it a big white one or was it a little one with little cheeky,
little rosy cheeks?
Yeah, cockatiel.
Cockatiel.
Yeah, and his name was Freddie. So maybe I'll get her a bird instead.
I like that idea very much.
Yeah.
I just adopted a new one. I have Sophie, who is a severe macaw, 6 years old, which is why we're down in the basement today. So, because she likes to be on the live stream loudly.
Oh yeah, she's very vocal. I love her.
Oh, she's vocal. She screams. She rings the bell, and I stopped paying attention. And I noticed that when I'm editing videos, that I gotta like cut.
Yeah.
But I just adopted a little parrotlet, which is a tiny parrot about that big. It's a real parrot. It's just they don't get much more than that. And love that little guy.
Oh, what color is he?
Right now, I believe he's going to be teal blue. He came into the store at 2 years old, and he had plucked all his feathers. So now that they're growing back, he's kind of furry, but his feathers are coming in, kind of like a light blue, teal blue. I'm waiting to see if there's blue on the wings that means he's going to be he's a male. But if there's no blue on the wings, then he's going to be a she.
That's cute though.
Yeah, our neighbors that live right next door to us, they've got some birds, and every time you go out to get in your car or something like that, if you go to where they can see you, they really light it up and start getting real vocal towards you. Yeah, I know.
It's so funny. I asked my neighbor one time, I'm like, did you know I got a bird? And he just like, yeah.
Duh.
Never mind.
Love that.
Yep.
So how are you now, Jeff, with all your tanks? Are they still back at your other place? Are they all incorporated in yet?
Well, that is funny you should ask that, because yesterday morning, me and my 15-year-old son, we took off and we went down to Jeffroz Fish Keeping 1.0. This will be 2.0, I guess you'd say. But we went over there and spent, gosh, from like 9 something in the morning till like 2 in the afternoon breaking down aquariums and aquarium stands. And I actually shot a video. I haven't done any editing or shot the intro or outro yet, but I'll probably upload it for this next Thursday. But I did bring home a whole vehicle full of aquariums.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all kinds of different stuff too, so it's starting to actually happen. I put the final coat of paint on the basement walls today, so this week I'll be able to start setting up stands and aquariums and start getting it all going.
So
Yeah,
I know you had a bedroom with lots of fish tanks. Have you ever set up an actual fish room?
You know what? I never really have. The way that I did it at my house was just in this room was some, and this room was some. I mean,
his whole house was the fish room.
Yeah,
His
definitely.
whole house. I'm not even kidding. His entire house.
Yep. So that's the only big difference I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to get a few. Last time there was times in the summer.
Guys in the chat, mark this down. He just said that. We'll see if we can
The last time it got up to 50, and it was so much work. It was just. And
that's the thing that I want. I want him to be able to enjoy it this time, and especially because we have a new baby. We have all the kids are still really little, and he's not going to be able to enjoy it as much. It's going to become a job if he has 50 plus aquariums rather than just a few.
Right.
A few.
And it's also gonna help having, like the tank of my lifetime. I'm gonna be able to finally set up my 300-gallon, and that is gonna be a fun. And that one will be able to make all kinds of content, because how I'm gonna set that one up is I'm going to fill it full of like nano fish and schooling fish instead of doing like some giant fish that you could probably do. You could do some monster fish, or you could do some monster plex.
Yeah. Did we freeze up? I think we froze up. I don't know if I froze up. I could be the main. Oh, there we go. No. Guys in the chat, did we freeze up? Jeffro, you'll never be cured from multi-tank syndrome. What's a few? 20 plus? Oh, I can't wait to ask him those questions. What's a few? That's so funny, Ness. I don't know if Jeffro froze up or did I freeze up? Am I still good, guys? We'll see. I'll have to wait and see. I know there's a little bit of a lag time. You aren't frozen. Oh, good. Because, oh no, Jeffro. I think Jeffro touched a button. Now Jeffro's gone. Oh, I got a super chat. Hold please. Jeffro, you didn't. Jeffro was froze. Danican Aquatics. Hiya, $5 super sticker. Hiya, I love it. Thank you so much. I'm good. Oh, go figure. I'm good. You can say that. I'm good. So let me talk real quick until Jeffrey. Hopefully he'll call back. I gave him the link. This tank. This is the 55-gallon that was bowing, that I was afraid. I've lowered it down. I'm thinking if I move Oscar to a tub, obviously like a 50-gallon tub for now, and put these fish in there, because I'm having a hard time breaking down this tank because there's so many fish. And then maybe I will give Oscar the larger tank. So what do you guys think about that? I know I got some Oscar lovers in the chat that are going to love that idea. My reed frogs are coming Wednesday. Oh, I'm so excited, Mike. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Who was I watching today? I was watching somebody, listening to somebody. Oh, maybe it was Jay Wilson. I was talking about dart frogs. I really want to set up a dart frog vivarium, but I'm afraid I got to get this done first. And once I move these tanks over and break down this tank, I think Jeffro's back. Hi guys, can you hear me? They look kind of gray. I'm going to bring them in and we'll see if that works.
I think we're good now.
You went away.
The baby woke up, but that isn't why we were gone. I don't know why.
Oh, let's see that precious little girl. Oh
Little
my
Danny.
goodness. How old? Wow, thank God. Phoebe, she looks like you. She doesn't have
Yes,
a beard or
does.
anything. Thank goodness.
Thank
Just kidding,
God.
Jeff.
Thank you.
If you don't like Oscars, Furlough Aquatics, that's right. I'm not wearing my shirt, but I would turn around and say, you can go yourself. What?
Oh.
So I got that shirt from KG Tropicals. And it's got a big picture of an Oscar. It says, if you don't like Oscars and you turn around, it's the F, hashtag K, you can go yourself. I was like, that's awesome. So while you were gone, I was telling people that I was going to put this Oscar in a temporary bucket while I move all these fish over, because this is a half drawn down 55. I'm afraid is going to blow up any moment.
Oh yeah, that bowed. I've never had a tank that bows like that, but I've heard about it, and I would do the same thing. It's like scary.
Now the middle of a 55 usually has that brace. I got this second-hand used. There was never a brace in it, and you could tell that there was at one time. And when I went to put the lid on, the middle like went right through. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a cement floor or not. I don't want to lose all those fish.
Yeah.
She likes to look at me whenever I'm talking, whenever I'm live.
Oh,
She
that's so
stares
cute.
Don't you?
Dragon Layer said I had to slap my hand today. Almost put $400 on my car for a pair of pygmy Simpson pythons.
Oh gosh.
Those pygmy pythons are adorable, though. If I was to get a python, which John would not let me.
Yeah, I was looking at a fish the other day. It's called a phantom red-tailed catfish.
Oh.
They're like translucent. You can see through them and stuff, and they're $800 for like a 3-inch long one.
And isn't that huge? Don't they get huge?
Yeah, they get really big. I'm not gonna get one, but wow, I can imagine.
I saw that, Phoebe. I saw that, Phoebe.
I made the decision on my own. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. Funny story, Phoebe. I'm listening to you guys podcast restreaming while I'm driving to work, but I have it up there for my GPS. And he said something similar like that, and you stood up and walked away. And I thought, oh my, she just walked off.
That's what she does. She has the gift of being able to what do you call it? Where you think about before she talks.
I contemplate on what I'm going to say before I say it.
Right. She reflects. That's what she does. She reflects. If she gets upset with me, she just reflects. and then comes back to it later. And that's really good.
Yeah.
It's really a good trait to have.
He's still alive, so
Yeah, I'm alive.
Exactly. That's a very good trait to have. I wish I had that sometimes.
I know.
She is.
I used to be like that when I was younger. I would just pop off. But now that I'm older and I love him, I sit there and I reflect and I think about what I'm doing.
Now, is this your first baby?
No.
You guys got like the Brady Bunch going on? How many kids do you have?
We do. Well, I have 3 of my own. My oldest is going to be 13.
4.
Huh?
You have 4 of your own.
Okay, yeah, true. I have 4 of my own. Well, 3
Right.
by myself and then 1 together. We have 4 all together.
Right.
My oldest is going to be 13 next month. And then I have an 8-year-old. And then I have a 6-year-old. And then I have Danny.
Danny.
Great.
And then he has how many?
I've got 5 counting Danny.
Wow.
And then 3 of hers.
Yeah. So,
That is awesome.
We have 8 together.
Yep.
And how many are going to live in this house with only a few fish tanks?
Well, 4 live in the house full time, and then my 15-year-old son comes here every other weekend.
The rest of his kids are grown and independent. So
Right.
So just the 15-year-old comes over on the weekends.
Yep.
So Holly asks, my friend just came in and asked me, is 120, I have the biggest tank they make. I laughed. No, I think you need 6 more that size. I said bigger, especially if he's behind.
Yeah, the biggest aquarium that I've ever kept prior to this 300-gallon that I'm getting ready to set up is I had a 125-gallon one time that I had some Oscars and a pacu and a catfish. Then I had one of those common plecos that get really big, you know. But I had that tank for quite a few years, and at that time, that was the only aquarium I had. Was just that 125-gallon, you know. So
I have a 120-gallon upstairs. That's what started my YouTube journey. Because I had a couple of smaller ones, and then John brought home Christmas Eve 120-gallon.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy having mostly bigger. And when I say bigger, I'm not going to have a lot of small tanks. Like in my dining room at my old house, I had a stand that had 12 10-gallon tanks on it. It was one of those block stands, you know, that you make cinder blocks. And it's just a lot of maintenance. So you have to start draining the water out of this one, and then you move to the next one, and you move to the next, you know, and it's just, and then when you go to filling them, it's fill this one, and then sponge filter after sponge filter after when it's maintenance time, you know.
Yeah.
So having fewer aquariums and having bigger aquariums, it's going to be more enjoyable for me, less work and more fun.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. So what happened to all of the fish that you had? Have you been like slowly getting rid of them?
Well, what happened is I've been living here since June, and had been going every other day, sometimes 2 or 3 days to my house and doing my maintenance and doing my feedings and stuff like that. And this winter, we went over there one day, and the house was really cold and the electricity was off. Well, I had an outside service. I didn't have an inside breaker box. I had an outside old school service with glass fuses, and I went outside and there was something wrong with it, and I got it to where it was working, and it was working fine. But I want to say in November sometime when the weather was freezing, I went there to do maintenance, and I hadn't been there in 2 days, I think it was. And my power had been off for sure over 24 hours because it was so cold in the house that all of my fish were dead. So I lost everything back in November, and that was a real punch in the gut.
Yeah. But you didn't give up. You're not going to give up.
I did not give up. What I decided was actually at that time too, I just came back in January after leaving YouTube for, I want to say it was like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Wow. Phoebe and I in 2020, we did a live stream together in February of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I had just hit 4,000 subscribers, and I wanted to come on and say hi and thanks to everyone, you know, because my channel continued to grow even though I wasn't uploading videos. I've got like 450 plus videos on YouTube, and people were still watching my videos, and I was still getting checks from YouTube every once in a while, and my channel was still growing. I was gaining subscribers. I think when I started my break, I was probably around 2,000 subscribers, and here I am just a little over a year and a half later, and I'm almost to 5,200. You know, so that old they call it evergreen content. You know, them videos that are set in there that people just keep on watching, and just I continued to grow, and I didn't do an edited video in over a year and a half, and it was a break. You know, I can't blame it on Phoebe because it was my fault. She was after me all the time. You need to make a video. She loved it. She thought it was cool that I made videos and that I had this fish keeping hobby, you know. But life was busy, especially this last summer. This last summer, we were working 80 hours a week apiece. Wow. I mean, and that's no joke. We really worked a lot this summer.
Yeah. It was fun.
It was definitely fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm finding ways to make my videos. What I want to get, though, is to a place where I kind of get a little bit ahead and get caught up to it, because that's how I always rolled. I was always like 5 or 6 videos ahead. I had 5 or 6 videos like scheduled on YouTube, and I want to kind of get back to that spot, at least a couple of videos ahead, to where like if this weekend we have a busy weekend, I don't feel stressed that I'm not making my video, you know?
Right. And that's really good when you have some kind of like theme that you could, like with your food versus plecos, you could shoot. Well, I guess your plecos have to be hungry, so. But in a week, you could shoot at least 3 or 4.
Right, and that's something that I would sometimes prep for. Like I wouldn't feed them for a couple of days to make for sure that they were really hungry before I put this giant piece of watermelon down in my aquarium. And, you know, you get comments every once in a while, isn't that overfeeding? And yeah, it is. The only reason why I was really doing that, you know, like I would put a whole piece of cantaloupe, for instance, or a whole piece of watermelon in there. And it's more than what my fish could eat. But things that I was wanting to look at is it going to spoil the water? If I put this in there, does it make the water cloudy?
Exactly.
Do they like it? Is it like it's like a treat for them? You know, I mean, it sometimes they didn't like it at all, and it was conversation. It was definitely overfeeding, but really, it's not overfeeding if you take it out. I would always take it out the next morning. How I would do those is I would always shoot it on a Friday night. That was my favorite thing to do. I want that room that tank was in. If there was any light outside at all, it used to be a sunroom, and there's lots of windows in that room. So if there was any light at all, the glare was too bad to do the video. So I always had to wait till nighttime to do it. So I would do it on a Friday night, and I would come in there and talk about the food that I was going to put in there, and then I would put it on in the tank on camera. And another thing that makes a conversation piece is it going to float or is it going to sink? Because if it sinks, it makes my job easy. All I got to do is make sure that it's pointed in a way that it will put on a good show for everyone. But if it doesn't sink, I've got to come up with some kind of way to sink it to the bottom. And if it's a big piece of watermelon, you got to, you know, get some zip ties and some rocks and different things like that, you know. But yeah, if I had a lot of plecos right now, it would make it. Yeah, I know. Those are nice. Those are very nice.
I got those at the one of the fish conventions that we were talking about earlier. But did you actually put in your edited videos the aftermath? The tank aftermath?
Well, yeah. What I do is I start out by showing them putting it in the tank, and then I do some B-roll at the beginning of them, you know, coming in and getting on it, you know. And then after that, I kind of get 3 or 4 cameras out, get as many time-lapse cameras going as possible, and I shoot some really good time lapses. And I just go kick it in the living room and watch some TV. And then after a while of doing those time lapses and switching, I'd like to get like 10 to 20 time lapses for those videos. Then I come back in there and I check in an hour after I've done it to see how, because some of the foods, like the portobello mushrooms, within an hour, they almost had it ate completely gone.
Oh, wow.
You know? Yeah, they were just on those portobello mushrooms. I got the baby ones, you know, the little ones.
I never would have thought.
They really loved that one. But I check in an hour later, and then after that hour, I shoot a little bit more B-roll, but then I kind of wait until the next morning to check back in again. And I'm usually really gruffy sounding because I just woke up and I'm just now getting my coffee and stuff. And I want to check in on that tank, and I give an aftermath of what it was after it being in there overnight, you know?
Wow.
And it's always different every time. Like, the one that I remember that really clouded up the tank really bad, where I had to do a lot of water changes, it's called a Santa Claus watermelon, or no, Santa Claus melon. There's probably a technical name for it, but I remember Santa Claus melon, and the reason why they call it Santa Claus melon is because they can harvest it like late summer, and that melon will stay good all the way till Christmas.
Cool.
But that one, that one clouded the tank. They loved it, but it clouded the tank really bad. I mean, really cloudy. So I probably would steer away from that one again.
Yeah. Oh,
My
cool.
plecos didn't ever really like sweet potatoes.
No?
I tried blanching them and then not blanching them, and they just didn't like it, you know?
Almost all my reptiles, all my tortoises love sweet potatoes. Love sweet potatoes.
Oh, nice.
Sweet potatoes and pumpkin. It's the orange, I think. The orange ones, you know, they really like them.
Yeah, I did pumpkin one time. It was really fun. I did it around Halloween, and I got some of my underwater lights, and I put the underwater lights down inside the pumpkin, and I carved it like a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh.
And I did some real mysterious music with it and stuff, and it was really cool because the plecos would go inside and come back out the eyeballs and different things like that. I really had a lot of fun shooting that video, but it was a Halloween themed.
Did that video do well on YouTube?
Not really. I think if I remember right, that one only has around 300 or 400 views, if I remember right.
Okay.
I thought it would do good. It starts out where, you know, the aquarium that I had, the lights on it were like lightning. So I really spent a lot of time editing in some thunder sound with the lightning to go at the same time as the lightning and everything, you know, and I really spent a lot of time making that video, but it just didn't really do good, and I don't know why.
Well, let me tell you, it seems like the videos that I spend so much time on with double cameras and sound effects and yeah, no. There was one video I didn't even put any thought into it. I just did a video, and that one did well. I was like, who knows why some do good and some don't do so well.
Yeah, my two best fish keeping videos right now, because I have a fishing video that I put as unlisted a while back, but it has right around 100,000 views on it, and I don't know why.
Why did you unlist it?
Well, I unlisted it just because, I don't know. I was up late at night one night.
Money maker.
I know. But anyhow, the two fish keeping videos that did the best, the one is the top 5, the best one that I've got. It's got like 32,000 views on it.
Wow.
It's the top 5, my top 5 favorite pleco foods.
Okay.
And then the second one was a really fun video. It's really long, and that's why I'm so surprised that it did so good, because I want to say that video was like 30 minutes long.
Oh.
But if you sat down and watched that video, I was up late at night, and I was being really goofy, and me and Phoebe, we do these voices for animals, and I was doing voices for the plecos, and like one of them was a short fin and one of them was a long fin, and the female was the long fin, and she wasn't wanting to go in there. And I can remember my commentary was like, my mom said not to hang out with long fins. I need to stick to my kind, you know, and different things like that. And it was really a lot of fun to shoot. But that one was how to spawn your bristlenose plecos in 48 hours or less challenge. And I had been just viewing my plecos and knew that they could spawn if I just had a male. I had 3 females, and if I just had a male, I could spawn them. Well, my 15-year-old son, he had a male that was really prolific, and I paid him $10 and I rented him for the whole weekend. And I shot that video, and it did really good. But I was surprised that it did good because it was so long. But if you really sit down and watch that video, it's kind of funny. Had a lot of
Good. So another video you did that I was actually not doing a video on it, but I was making at the same time as you were making your vivarium. You were doing the background and everything, but you didn't get the dart frogs. I did it backwards. I had dart frogs. I'm like, I got to make this. And I was making the same time you were. So how are you going with the vivarium? Are you going to continue with that?
I am definitely going to continue with that. I will have to do a bunch of work on my vivariums that I've got right now. I've got 2.
Oh.
I'll have to do a lot of work. I'm going to have to replant them because after, when I lost all my fish, I lost my frogs too, of course. I had 2 White's tree frogs, and I lost them too because, they got to be warm too.
They're like my pets. I know.
I know. It was tough. It was really tough. When I walked in the house and I could see my breath right when I walked in, the first thing that I was worried about was the pets. Yeah. But then I was also concerned, like, what about my basement? Did my pipes freeze? And I went, looking around all the aquariums. And then after I looked at all the aquariums and got sick, then I started thinking, wow, what about my pipes? And, but yeah, I definitely am going to for sure do more with the vivariums. And then I would honestly like to build like a dry vivarium for her leopard geckos. I think that'd be really fun to build a rock background. I was looking at some different videos on YouTube the other day on how to do that. Yeah. And I think that would be a really fun project because Phoebe, she's feeding the baby right now, but Phoebe is an artist, and I know that planted aquariums and vivariums and stuff like that, she is going to flourish and enjoy it and love it. And it'd be a fun thing that we can do together. And, it's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of my reptiles are in bioactive enclosures. So it's like the plants, the forest, they're not like biotopes. They're not replicas of where they come from, but it's more like the plants that I know I can grow because I want it to be successful that I got set up. And the isopods, the springtails. Now the dart frogs, of course, kind of nibbled on the springtails whenever they could.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
I really liked my tree frogs. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah. I love my White's tree frog. He's about that big now.
Yeah, they get chunky, don't they?
And he actually eats like he's eating a burger with it's like this.
Oh yeah, yep.
I love it.
Yep.
I got a question here. Dragon Lair says, Q, there's a guy in Australia that has a 17-year-old Whites that lives in his orchid greenhouse. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Could you imagine having a greenhouse and having some white tree frogs just chilling out?
That would be actually cool. That's another thing that Phoebe and myself have in common is we're both like earthy. We like the outdoors. Yeah. We love animals, and that would be really cool. I would love to have a greenhouse. I would love to do a garden. We're always talking about we're going to do a garden, but yeah, that would be really cool to have a greenhouse and have some frogs in there.
Yeah, it would be dope.
Oh my gosh, in 10 minutes. I didn't even realize. Look how this flew by. This is awesome. Candy saying,
I know.
Never Stop Learning Part 2. Ian Atkins, Natural Aquariums on Bob Kaler stream in 10 minutes. So that is awesome. Thank you, Candy. What type of tree frog? Now, I also have frogs that are firebelly, like she was talking about the firebelly newts. I've got firebelly toads, which are frogs.
Nice.
That I have in a 15-gallon, and it's got like a little marshy land, and I have one of the foggers in it, and it comes down and it's got water with an actual out of the ground filter, so the water's pumped up 6 inches. It looks like a little waterfall. And
Nice.
I love them, love them. But I have a white tree frog, and those are the only frogs I have. But the other amphibians that I have axolotls. They're over there. I've got 2 males and 2 females. I'm thinking about breeding, but
Now,
I haven't
real quick, now that we're talking about axolotls, because I've thought about getting those before, and I know that they're a cold water.
Yes.
Do you ever have any troubles, or do you kind of keep them away from your fish room, like on getting the water too warm in the summertime? Do you ever have any problems?
My fish room is in my basement. They're in the bottom tanks, and they stay right now. They're about 62 degrees. In the summer, this basement stays pretty cool because it's an underground basement. And the most I've ever had to do is I have 2 water bottles, and I keep one in the freezer. So and then I'll just toss it in, and the other one's in the freezer, and then the next I'll just swap it out because it stays
very
nice and
smart.
cool.
Very smart.
Yeah. And in the spring and in the fall, I was thinking about putting them out on my porch.
Ooh.
Because in the spring and the fall, it's nice and cool out there. It's just the summer it'd get too hot out there.
Right.
I live in
that would be
Pennsylvania.
smart to maybe spark up some breeding activity. You know, because you get them outside, and that might be a game changer.
He said he had dumpy frogs. Oh, that's cute. Dank said that's another name for the white tree frog. Yep.
Yeah, it is. Yep, the dumpy is another name for them. It seems like there's more than just the whites.
Yeah.
It seems like dumpy, whites. What's another name for them? Maybe that's it.
Because they're not white.
I know, right? Yo, Australian tree frog is the 3rd name for them. They're an Australian. Yep.
I do want to get some more frogs. The sound of frogs at night, I just absolutely love. I absolutely love. Because you got some that croak, some that click, some, I do have outside a couple of bullfrogs that I got as tadpoles a couple years ago. I built some ponds outside, and they keep coming back. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Dank, he has some tokays, and I've been on the phone with him before, and you can hear them in the background. They make a really noise, and they really sound cool too. I'd like to keep some tokays. The only thing I don't like about tokays is they don't like to be handled a lot, from what I've seen anyhow,
That's also very reason why I do like certain reptiles, like the chameleon, the veil chameleon. Not a fan of being held, but I love watching him in his enclosure. It's a 4-foot by 4-foot screen. I've got all live plants in it. It's like gorgeous. So I don't feel the need to have to hold them. And I mean, if I have to do a water or like do a change out, I will. He never liked that, but for the most part, that one and my Chinese water dragon. My Chinese water dragon, he will be held, and he's very nice at it, but I would just prefer to watch him in his 4-foot by 4-foot habitat with his 20-gallon. He's got a 20-gallon tank with what are those gourami paradise fish? Paradise fish.
Oh yeah,
and some giant Daniel. So I love watching him, and he lets me know when he's hungry. He'll knock on the door when I'm walking by. He just goes, don't. Get you hungry.
Yeah, I am hungry.
I know, right? But I got another super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Bob Kaler. $1.99 from Bob Kaler.
Awesome.
Thank you. I love hearing the frogs in my pond at night. Yes. Those fireball frogs are loud and annoying. I love them. Oh my gosh.
I do too.
The firebellies, they are, especially the male. He makes this almost like, is that a dog? Is that a cat? What is that noise? And it's the frog.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's when he wants to mate. I'm not sure, but.
Oh.
Science Gal says, I'll send you the frogs that enjoys my window all night long in the summer.
Love that.
Yeah, I started out with my dumpy frogs in my vivarium in my bedroom, and it was like every night, right when the lights would shut off and I just about get to sleep, they would start croaking. And
Yeah.
I was like, that is not going to work at all. So I instantly had to do a different setup where I put them out in a different room, because I couldn't sleep,
So Petro Man is asking, what size tank do you have? I know you said you have like a jewelry display case. What's a footprint for that?
I think it's about a 75-gallon is what I would guesstimate it to be.
Nice. That's perfect. Wow.
Right. They really do good. She's got it it's carpeted in the bottom instead of doing a substrate. She's had some bad luck with different substrates and stuff like that in the past, and she decided on this one to do like, it's a real soft indoor outdoor type carpet is what I would guess it as, because it's really flat. And she's made all kinds of different hides for them. She's made some homemade humidifier type things for them, and yeah, it's really actually pretty nice. They do really good in it.
Yeah, I would love that. I look at all these different like IKEA bookshelves, things that have something that I can turn that into, because I have 3 leopard geckos that I would like long book stand, and if it had an upper bookcase, I have crested geckos. So I would like to put the crested geckos upward with the leopard geckos on the bottom shelf. I would love that.
Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be very cool.
And I like the crested geckos because they don't really eat a lot of insects.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I like that. So I am so happy that you guys came on my live stream and chatted for a little bit. I'm really excited. Thank you so much.
We were happy to be here. We appreciate you having us on, actually.
Yeah, it was our pleasure. And sorry for the interruptions.
Oh, absolutely worth it. Oh my gosh, you'll never hear me complain about a baby ever.
She's I
mean, we're talking about leopard geckos and frogs. Babies 10 times better.
I know.
Maybe more than 10 times better, but
she sure does love sitting on my lap on the edge of the bed here and enjoy that aquarium right there.
Yeah.
She really loves it a lot.
I'm telling you, my granddaughter would sit in front of the tank and just watch the fish, and oh my God.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, I thank you guys very much. Is there anything you want to tell everybody? How about your channel name, where you can be found? If you're
all right, you guys can. Yep, you guys can follow me on Facebook at Jeffroz Fish Keeping, or you can go to my YouTube channel. It's Jeffroz Fish Keeping. I'm very searchable on Google. If you type in Jeffroz with a Z on the end of it, you will find me instantly. I'm the only Jeffroz in the world, I guess.
Like Jeffroz Bodine.
Yeah, you just type in Jeffroz on Google and you'll find my channel. I upload videos once a week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then we go live every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we do hangout live streams. Honestly, that's what we do. We can talk about whatever we want. We try to stay fish topic,
but it's never fish topic.
It gets away from it, but it's a way for my subscribers to come and hang out with me and get to know me, and we get to know them, so we're fine with it.
Yep. And I don't have a channel. I'm just here to support the fam, basically.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Now it's yours channel with a Z, yours.
Right. Maybe we'll think about that throughout the year, and we'll try to
that's
figure
pretty
out.
Cool. I know my live stream is a high point of my week where I get to chat with everybody, and I just absolutely love it. Absolutely.
Well, we do too. It's also a way for us to just sit down and just get a breather. Just sit here and just.
And people who come on are people who like me. I like that. There's no nasties. There's no meanies. And if there is, Candy makes them disappear. They go into jail somewhere. Thank you, Candy. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Well, we are all going to head over to Bob Kaler's. But before I go, you know where we're going, right?
Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Suzy Q. Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q, and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Suzy Q. Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q, and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Suzy Q. Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q. Hey everybody, it's Suzy Q. Na na, hey everybody, it's Suzy Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Suzy.